It was no surprise to Bailey when she struggled to sleep. It had been forever since she'd enjoyed a casual evening out with a guy. And never with a guy who made her feel giddy. That was the only word that captured the breathless, dizzying excitement that bubbled through her like champagne. The last time she'd felt like that, she'd been 16 years old, and Billy Roberts had invited her to the homecoming dance. Dragging herself out of bed at the shrill sound of her alarm, Bailey stepped into the shower, despite the fact she'd washed off the sticky beer last night before going to bed. She needed something to wake her up, and she didn't drink coffee. Once she was dressed in her scrubs, she pulled her damp hair into a messy knot on top of her head and moved into the kitchen to feed Bert and Ernie. The large dogs barked their approval, dancing circles in the small kitchen until they threatened to knock her down. The house really was too small for such large dogs, but Bailey was willing to endure a few bruises. She adored the ridiculous duo. Once she'd finished a quick glass of orange juice and the dogs had wolfed down their breakfast, Bailey opened the front door to send the pair to her next-door neighbor for the day. In the beginning, she'd tried to keep the exuberant beasts in her yard, but Dorinda Lyle was an elderly widow who assured her that she enjoyed having company. And to guarantee they made a mad dash to her house every morning, she kept an abundance of stuffed toys, treats, and beds that were specifically designed for aging dogs. Bailey counted her blessings they could spend the day being spoiled rotten. Waiting until the beasts were safely tucked inside, Bailey grabbed her keys and headed out of the house. She got to the sidewalk as a sharp breeze cut through her scrubs. Crap. The October air had gone from crisp to cold. Returning to the house, she grabbed a cardigan sweater her grandmother had knitted for her shortly before she died and pulled it on. It was several sizes too large and starting to fray at the cuffs, but she loved it. She headed back out of the house, only to spin around and rush back to the kitchen. She'd forgotten her phone. It was her usual morning routine. Bailey told herself that she wasn't scatterbrained. She was simply focused on more important things. Scooping the phone from the counter, she glanced at the screen, surprised to see she had a message. It was too early for a casual chat. It had to be something important. She pulled up the text as she hurried out of the house.